Welcome to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the Body Mechanic NYC.
What's up, Body Mechanic?
Chella, I'm feeling energized today. Hold on, I hope that mic is in the right place because you know when I get excited, it vibrates and people can't hear anything but rattling on the other side.
Body Mechanic, I had an awesome time last night.
You know, we could talk about that, but I want to talk about that sexy ass shirt you got on.
What about your
Body
sexy
Shop
ass
Enterprises.
shirt? Yeah, in full effect.
I wish that camera could focus in on those emblems. Hold on. See, I got to move my chest when I talk.
Will you stop doing that?
When I was on News 12, I was trying to step my chest up in the picture, and they kept lifting the camera up. So it didn't work.
Too much.
Did they eliminate it?
No. Yeah.
They had a portion of it.
They covered it.
You saw like the Body Shop. That's why I wore the white.
Yeah.
Because when the lady approached me, she said, she said, "Are you an employee here?" I go, "I might as well be as much as I use it."
So talk about your debut on Channel 12. That was really exciting.
Well, you just left me alone. You were supposed to be there, but your boyfriend pulled you away.
No, it wasn't my boyfriend.
Yes,
it was
Mr.
children.
Bowtie. Mr. Bowtie
Stop
said,
it.
"Sorry, I can't go in. We can't do spares, so
Stop
you have
it.
to be here."
No, I had to go because those children needed me.
So Chella just threw me out the truck. Next thing you know, my phone fell out. I cracked my phone. I didn't have a phone for a week. It was depressing. Until I got inside and saw the float lady.
So anyway.
So we've had Mr. Pappas on our show, on our TV show, and on our radio show. And he is one of the only men on Long Island that actually have a flotation room. Two rooms. Most other places have a coffin-like type flotation device, which I don't have a problem getting into because I just want to get to the experience and get in and get her done. But for most mere mortals out there, I understand your reservation about being closed in and claustrophobia and all of those things that are man-made constructs. The bottom line is this. His rooms are 7 feet tall, 7 feet wide, 7 feet long. It's like a huge cube. And once again, it's loaded with magnesium sulfate. It has the ability to eliminate sight, eliminate sound, and with body temperature being duplicated by the temperature of the water, now we even eliminate touch. So your brain is like in a frenzy. It's like, oh my God, where do I go? I might as well just go inside and check out what's going inside those brain tissues. Let me tell you something, folks. You have the ability to go into this forum and disconnect from your environment. This is something that the average Westerner cannot do unless they're somewhere high in the mountains, elevated above stress, cars, nagging spouses, children, inundated with toxins. This is what you can do in this concrete jungle.
Everyone needs it.
Absolutely.
Everyone.
Increased blood flow. More importantly, just detaching from your environment, because what people don't realize is that during the course of the day, with work, with children, with bills, the body is bombarded with stress. And what stress does, the stress is one of the #1 causes of disease because it suppresses the immune response. Here is an opportunity to detach and supercharge your immune response. Chella, you did it. What was your experience like?
It was interesting. The first time I did it, I was a little, edgy, nervous. I took my time, turned the light off, and when I turned the light off, I kept my eyes closed. I didn't want to open them and knowing that I was in the darkness.
Oh my God, closed eyes, dark, tank, okay, I got you.
So what happened was I was tired that night when I went into the tank, and after like about 20 minutes, I think I was sleeping, and I began to see visions. I saw a vision of you and something else. It was black and white sketch, like hand sketched. It was so long ago. I don't remember what the sketch. Remember I told you I saw a vision of something? But it was cool. When I came out, I was so chilled. I was so relaxed. So I felt really
Well,
really
I remember
good.
you were excited because I was still inside the room coming out, and you were like, puppy, puppy.
I did not say that.
You said puppy, puppy chulo. What's up, baby? I'm feeling chill. I was like, and I came out the room. I was like really tranquil.
No, I was excited because
no, I know you excited about the experience. But I couldn't
Right.
wait for you to do it because I had done several, and you were just like, I'm like, girl, just feel it, live in it. Then he has these relaxation rooms you go into, and you kind of go into like a retreat. He's got herbal teas for you. Let me tell you, he has the perfect setup.
And he has awesome jewelry that he sells, all kind of precious stones.
There's only one problem.
What?
He needs 50 more rooms.
It's too small.
I'm telling you,
It's too
we
small.
have several million people on Long Island, and everybody needs to do it. So how do we get everybody in that tank?
He's got to get a bigger place.
Other than that, we have to reach out to some investors and build something catastrophic. This should be like a float building.
So,
you know, like when we went to Bounce?
right.
This should be loaded with float tanks.
Right. Wouldn't that be awesome? We should get warehouses.
Do you know how good it would be for children?
Yes.
And you know why I
awesome.
know it'd be good for children? Because have you ever massaged young children?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they become lambs.
Yeah.
I was privy 2 weeks ago at my gym. I have a gym in a corporate setting, and once a year they have Bring Your Children to Work Day. So I had about 30 young children between the ages of 6 and 12. And during I created a little obstacle course for them. I was sharing holistic nutrition with them, talking about hydration and rest and morning rituals. And near the end of the session, the ladies who were chaperoning these young children were like, work them hard, make them fatigued, make them tired. I says, this is an opportunity to give them vital information that can enhance their life. So what I did was, I had them all lie down on the floor, and we did a meditation segment. And it was so interesting because they just followed like lambs. I had everybody lay out in the prone position, with prone or supine. Heads up is
Prone.
prone.
Supine.
Supine position. And I had them open their heart chakra to the earth, turn their palms up, because once you open that up, your breathing increases, your diaphragm functions better, you reset your rib cage, just a few things. We can talk about that when we talk about massage later. But more importantly, those children were lying down and they were tranquil, and you could hear a pin drop in the room. Folks, let me tell you something. If children get it, there's no reason why you shouldn't get it. It is good for everyone, no matter where you are in life's journey. If you are 4 months, if you are 100, everyone needs an opportunity to focus on breathing.
So, Body Mechanic, get back to your experience on being on Channel 12.
Oh, I'll be honest. We live like that, Chella.
I know,
It's
this
not
is
even a
true.
big deal. Like sometimes you say people are afraid to come on television. I mean, if you love your craft and you're in it, it is your duty and your responsibility to share these things with the general population. So when I was in that room, I was so excited. I forgot about the camera. Like, in fact, they were setting up in the room. I thought they were filming. I was just talking like blah, 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 blah. So I talked literally for it must have been like 15 minutes straight.
And you can do that
and
easily.
Then I said to the lady, I said, are you ready to float? She was all excited. I said, you have any questions? She says, you answered everything. I was going, let's get floating then. What's up?
That was good. That was good PR for flotation place.
Right, it
Infinity.
was. I want him
Really
to be
good.
successful. And it's not even
Yeah.
so much of him being successful. More importantly, is giving people a place where they can go and heal.
Mm-hmm.
And healing in all aspects. Because you can't think about healing until you're in a tranquil environment. You need that medium. You can't heal in chaos unless you have the mindset to meditate and,
So Body Shop TV is being brought to you by us because we like to share with you information about wellness and relationships. On our second hour, we're going to be sharing with you the benefits of massage. Yes, so for the last 17 months, I've been waiting for the Body Mechanic to give me a massage. I have to pedal
Shella,
massages.
you don't have to tell the
I have
you
to
don't have to
pedal
tell the world that
massages.
I do massage you.
No, you don't. But let me tell you something. When you go to the nail salon and you have those proprietors massaging you for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and you walk out sore as hell, that is not healthy for you at all. You need to go to someone that has skills and dedication. And also the person that's touching you needs to have a good mindset and have good intentions.
But you also have to explain to people. It's not that those people don't know what they're doing.
I didn't say they don't know what they're doing.
Right. But
when you walk out sore as hell,
Right.
something's wrong.
But what do a lot of people say? I can't feel it.
No.
But people do say that. They want to be, because when people are tense, they have a tendency, they can't feel it. So they think that because it's light touch, that it's not doing anything. But the deal is, as soon as you touch the skin, even light pressure, you're moving fluids. You know that,
Right.
Shella. And the deal is, it's like layers, almost like taking something like a piece of food and putting it in an oven and having it heat up from the exterior in. As you continue to touch the skin, it continues to move fluids. And that's when you start moving things out of the way. You do not have to, let me tell you something. Someone does not have to take and press their thumb, touch your skin, and touch your bone in order for it to be effective.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the second hour. Chella's going to get touched.
Wait a minute. No, you're supposed to massage me.
No, you told me you're massaging me. And besides, why you have your shirt that's so big on you? I'm not used to seeing you like that.
I'm going to change it when I do the massage. So when people watch me doing the massage, they can see my muscles in working.
OMG.
It'd be like an anatomy lesson.
So, Body Mechanic,
Yes,
last night,
Stella.
the Whalers, we went to the Paramount last
You were
night.
so fun. Did you just dismiss me?
Yes, I did.
That is a typical, folks, I want to let you know.
Stop! Don't even go there.
That is a typical gregarious trait.
Anyway, we went to the Paramount.
Used against the infamous Body Mechanic.
The infamous.
For those out there in Nevada, a shout out to you. I love you too.
We love you and miss you
Yes.
so much, DP Merce. So anyway, we went to the Paramount last night and we saw the Whalers.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
so exciting. And to see,
I'm still like,
there's one original Whaler that's still in the group. He plays the bass. And then
don't worry.
But wait, the old guy that
About
had
a
the
thing.
dreads wrapped and wrapped and wrapped on top of his
That's
head.
because they're down to his ankles.
They were awesome. What an awesome experience. And they played that song, One Love. I was listening to the words of that song last night.
Bob Marley was a genius.
He was musical genius. And I began to get very, very melancholy because I'm thinking about our world today, our environment, and that song written many, many years ago. Just things are just getting worse.
People knew about that hundreds and hundreds of years ago. There is something that, Chella, we talk about how, we talk about if how we have a language, but even language a lot of times can't really express your feeling. It's hard to put words to how you feel. All you can do is kind of react. And the universal language is touch and community. And it's interesting that because as we look around us and we look at nature, right down to the smallest insect or microbe, they all have community. It just seems like we can't figure it out. They just get along. They do it. Bees and ants and birds and bears, and they just make it work, survival. Other than food, they all get along. We
don't because of money and power.
Well, right, because those things have been made important.
Right.
But it's funny, as you get into an area where you kind of digress from modern society, and I really don't even like using the word modern, because when people stop nurturing each other and start taking care of each other, it actually becomes quite primitive. And it's just not a healthy place. For people to ignore people on the street, see people laying down, to be able to function and see people in duress and not be bothered by it, that's worse than cancer. And I may sound like an idealist, but the deal is, I just try to share love wherever I go. And, when people are nurtured and given those basic things, you see the real person. I don't know. That's why we do the touch thing and try to get this information out there, because no one's doing it. Everybody wants to be compensated. And you know what? When people have something that works, I think that everyone should have access to it. If you're catering to a specific economic portion of the population, it's not right. Mm-hmm. Everyone should have access to good service, especially when it enhances their health. It should not have a price tag.
The other reason why we're doing showing you the benefits of massage second hour is because the Body Mechanic and we host a monthly touch sensorium every month where we invite the public to come to a venue and get touched. Free veggie juicing, other wellness modalities that our sponsors provide us. And it's just an awesome, awesome experience. People come in for the first time who've never been touched before, and they walk out on cloud nine.
You know what we have to start doing? We have to start doing video clips. 5-second video clips of the person before the massage and then 5 seconds after.
Yeah.
And
remember that guy that you did at our last touch and sewing where he got up, he hadn't had a massage in like 18 years, I think.
24 years. I don't think he's ever had a massage.
Did you see how he walked off the chair and walked away?
He got up groggy.
He was
like
floating,
I know.
man.
But then the next day, a couple days later, because we had on Monday, I saw him on Wednesday, he said he was really sore. I said, you have to expect to be sore because you've never been touched. You got stuff moving. And you're moving differently. That's what's interesting. Good. And now we were talking about the detox. When your body is toxic, when you don't get touch, I'm sorry. I love you, Victoria. So the deal
Very
is
animated.
huh?
You're very animated.
So when you don't get touched and you get touched, you will experience pain first because your body's not used. You're sensing a part of your body that doesn't normally get stimulated. And I always do like a good way to kind of connect your body with your brain, because remember, your brain is just a receiving unit. If you were to crack your skull wide open, you can actually take your finger and poke it in your brain and you wouldn't even feel it, because that mass receives all the information from your appendages, from your feet, from your hands, from your body, and when you get touched, it connects this to that. So it's imperative that everyone gets touched. It doesn't have anything to do with gender. It has to do with living. All living things. Cats do it. Those people who have cats know. They've seen their cats nestling like this, just rubbing and they close their eyes and they just purr. You see dogs doing it with their nose. All animals do it. Apes do it. Spiders do it. Crabs do it. I think I need some touch.
I think we need to go to a commercial.
We do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stay with us. Our phone number's on the bottom. We'll be taking calls next break, after this break. And definitely stay tuned our second hour because we'll be showing you the benefits of massage.
And if you haven't been touched in a while, call in so we can give you some pointers so you can learn how to receive touch, because there's also a mental component. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn?
Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure.
You'll be happy you did.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And my name is the Bike Mechanic NYC.
We-
You know, go.
No, I just want to say we encourage you to give us a call, ask questions, share experiences.
Oh my gosh, yes, about touch. It's so important. It's so vital. So many people walk around so backed up, not being touched and nurtured in their environment, stressed, all these layers built up. I'm telling you, folks, there's no way you can have a relationship if you don't like touch. Folks, I'm telling you, I want you to feel uncomfortable.
Say that again?
If you don't like being touched.
Wait. Say that again.
If you don't being.
Back up.
No, I'm not going to back that far because I know exactly where you're going.
You said
Folks,
if you cannot be in a relationship if you don't like touch. That's what you said.
If you don't like touch.
So you cannot be in a
You
relationship.
like touch.
I love touch.
And I do too. I don't like touch. That's ticklish.
No, you like.
Ooh, that's ticklish. This pointing at me makes me want to laugh.
I think you like touching people, but you don't like. You like touching other people, but you don't like to be touched.
That's not true.
Yes, I think so.
That is not true.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I've been observing.
That is not true.
Yeah, I think it is.
Absolutely not.
Anyway.
Don't drink my water.
Well, you're not doing it.
That's for my stuff.
I need more water.
You need more water?
Hot water tastes good. After all that screaming last night, my throat is killing me.
Oh my God,
I had so.
Don't worry.
I felt like a teenager last night.
Oh my God, the
So
audience was nuts. Everybody was dancing. It was like a huge love fest.
They were smoking weed.
They were smoking
pipes, weed, pipes.
No, I don't think those are weed. I didn't smell weed from them. There was the guy next to us.
The guy
was
next to you.
Right, but the ones in front of us was smoking. That had That's a nicotine pipe.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't see? That's a nicotine
Why was he
pipe.
hiding it? He was definitely
Because
hiding.
you're not supposed to be smoking it in there.
Oh.
It's the vapor.
The photographer emailed me this morning.
You did?
Yeah.
I bet he did. Everybody emails. All the men emailed Chella.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So, Buddy Mechanic.
Yes, Chella.
Yesterday on our radio show, the relationship tip, we talked about when it's over in regards to relationships.
Right.
And I just want to share with our viewers today that we talked about people who are in relationships and one person may not be able to accept the fact that the relationship is over because they're in denial. What are you pointing at? What are you pointing at?
I was pointing at those numbers on the bottom of people that are stressed who don't know how to receive touch. That's the number you call to get enlightened. 631
669 7999.
Yes, please look at that number one more time. If you don't like touch, you're afraid of being touched. If you're one of those people who got into the subway and you don't like people standing near you, you need to call that number. There it is right there. Okay, good.
So, getting back to what I was saying.
Oh, when it's over, it's over?
Yes, that's what I was talking about. And
Oh, God, nothing's ever over.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No. You hear what Zorro said?
What?
We said friends with benefits. What did he say?
Yeah, he said that he would break up with a girl and then later on get back together with her for fun or benefits and.
Oh, really? No, you used the word. No, you used the word benefits. He didn't use benefit. That's your word. You are so funny, Chella.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
I don't know. With bump and grind comes a big responsibility, Chella.
Right. So anyway, I think our point that we're trying to make is that when you are in a relationship and it appears to be over, when you see that activities have reduced, when you see that you just don't do the same things that you used to do, it's over.
No, things just change.
No, it's over. And just accept the fact. And it's good to accept, embrace, and move on. That's the beauty of it all, being able to move on.
Well, life has a bunch of things.
I'm listening.
Chella, don't even try it.
What? I'm listening to you.
What, Buddy Buchanan?
What?
What? Accept the fact and move on.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So go ahead.
What are you inhaling, Chella? Don't suck up any of those chunks because they will stay in your nostril and burn you up for a couple hours. On the front
you were
here,
making a point.
On the front here is Life Hailers, and folks, these are made in Thailand, right, by a lady who sold me crystals about 8 years ago, and she also has a spa line, and she makes these specifically for us. And in there is different barks and cinnamon and clove, and they're infused with 20 essential oils.
Oh, it smells awesome.
This has no shelf life, and What's interesting is when I started selling them at my gym, I mean, in my core, there's about 400 people, and I sold to probably 100 people. What's interesting is that I can walk around the office any time of the day, and you'll see people with their inhaler going. Because when you breathe in oils, when they atomize into the air, they infuse into your lungs, and they actually relax your bronchioles. It's incredible. And those oils are things that we are designed to take in our natural environment. So when you use one of these inhalers, it takes you back.
Way back.
I can tell you, I should charge $100 for one, especially how long it lasts. But
Yeah,
they're only $40,
I can't believe how long they last.
and they'll put, I'm telling you, you can't get this on the shelf in the U.S. because everything that's sold on the shelf has some type of preservative in it.
Yep.
This is all natural. And for those of you who know about herbs and oils, you know how potent and how powerful medicinal oils are. So do your own research. Life Hailers, $40. I'm telling you, if you get one of these, everyone will have it in their stockings for Christmas. You'll give it to everyone in your family, especially if you love them.
And you know, they're good for people who are asthmatic.
Yeah, yeah. People that are asthmatic are they're just deficient in things that they need for living. We could talk about that on another show. But, I also want to talk about, after we talked about when it's over, it's over.
You have bark on your nose.
I know, but the bark feels so good. And it feels like I'm one with nature.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, bark on.
Oh,
So you're saying after we get done talking about when it's over, it's over.
okay. So,
We're not done.
so if you're not finished, we can talk about it more. Go ahead, Chel.
Well, you-
Enlighten us about over when it's over.
Well, you were going to
So-
say
so-
something earlier.
No,
You were going to say something.
I was going to say that. Wow, coconut oil. I'm using coconut oil in massage. I'm sorry, folks. And
I'm taking my clothes off.
what? You gotta be naked.
I didn't bring towels and stuff.
You did. I don't want to massage you. You don't have towels?
Oh, maybe I do in the truck. I don't think I have towels. You took them all, remember?
No, the towels are in my massage thing,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
All right,
So we
cool.
have them.
Awesome. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about.
You were talking about when it's over, it's over.
No, that's what you keep bringing up.
Because we don't finish.
All right, so finish this up.
You know
on
what
when
somebody
it's-
told me yesterday? Someone listened to our radio show last night, and they said that you guys have such great information. What's the matter? I'm talking to you.
I thought I heard an echo in the backdrop because I heard that before. What?
Are you hearing things?
No. Wait a minute.
They said that our shows, we have great information. Oh, and by the way, you didn't leave that with me yesterday.
I didn't?
No, it sits in your hand. So anyway, they said that we have great information about wellness and relationships, but sometimes we get caught up and start laughing too much, and we lose track of what we're talking about.
Wait a minute. For that person, I hope you're watching right now. Get your own show, and then you can be somber and be stark-faced as long as you want. You can't filter through people having fun and enjoying themselves and listen to the content of their speech, then you need to rewire your brain. Because this is the deal. The Body Shop was started on love. We love the general population. We love each other, and we have fun, and that's just how we roll. If you don't feel like laughing, don't. Listen to the
Yeah.
information. I'm telling you, information is good regardless of how it's delivered.
And this person, she comes from a world of negativity, depression.
I'm
all
telling
those
you,
things, man.
I always say this to people. What you think of me is really none of my business. It is my goal to take my experiences and the information I've gathered and to share it with the general population, because at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to each other, to look out for each other. If you walk past a fellow man that's in pain, trust me, when your time comes, you're going to want someone else to do the same thing.
That's
It's
right.
really just how it works. It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with size. It has to do with things that are living. I don't crush insects. I don't hurt things around me. And I'm definitely going to take care of my brother, man. And I don't care what color he is, what size he is, what gender they are. It means nothing to me. All I see is energy and someone else living. Because as a team, we are a powerful force to be reckoned with. When we are separated, we are weak and vulnerable. And I want to build a powerful team, a powerful tribe. That's what it's about.
One love.
Like in the concert last night, everybody in the Paramount, right? Everybody was moving, and that's what it's about.
Yep.
You know, that's what the deal is.
I think everybody in that theater yesterday was of one mind.
They were. People that say things like that, they're just not feeling
Well,
joy. Because when you feel joy, you hear laughter, you want to chime in with it.
Right. But I tell you, she comes from a dark world, man.
Well, I don't live in void of light. And if I get in void of light, I still see sunshine. Because when you have light in you, you can't be in the dark when you have light.
Yeah.
You
True
know?
that.
Yeah. So, thank you for listening to the information, and I guarantee you when you listen in the future, we will talk about good stuff, and we will end it with a good chuckle. So get your chuckles on and get ready. You know what it's like?
What?
It's like a bunch of people in a hot air balloon, and you got 4 people hanging off the bottom going, you're going in the wrong direction. Don't be a life parachute. Get into the balloon and float and fly, because that's what you're supposed to do.
It's about projection. You know, when people give that kind of negativity, they're coming from that place, man. You can't take it personally.
And you know what else?
And I have people calling me from all over the country, criticizing or complimenting our shows and our content. And I appreciate all the words that are shared.
Absolutely.
Because every day's a school day.
But I do want to share something with our watching population. I'm sorry, because I have to go in like this.
Oh, jeez.
Like I said, we appreciate the opinions and everything.
Right.
But our ultimate goal is to help everyone. And this is one thing that you will understand eventually when you get able to get those stress bubbles out of your brain. That when the body is relaxed and tranquil in a space of being able to laugh, it is one of the best places to receive information. So when you're under stress, it affects your brain chemistry. And if we listened to each and every person who had an opinion, we would never be able to have a show.
That's right.
It would be their show.
Body Mechanic, I am so excited. This gentleman that I met a couple of weeks ago, who is the brainchild for the biannual Naval Expo.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we went to the first one?
Right.
How much fun did we have?
I had a great time.
OMG, we met so many awesome people. And I think what's so beautiful about the Naval Expo is that those vendors at the expo are all of like mind. So we're going to take a break right now and bring Alex on board with us.
Okay.
And please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Old Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the Body Mechanic NYC.
And I would like to introduce Alex Lubarsky. Alex, welcome to Body Shop TV.
Thank you. Pleasure.
So, you know, when we have guests on our show, we always do a little icebreaker with them. So if you don't mind, entertain us. So, Alex, tell us your favorite color.
I'd say I like red, I like blue.
Just one.
I like blue.
Blue? And give me 3 adjectives as to why you like that color.
Wow. Resonates with me. I don't know. It makes me feel happy.
Happy, that's one.
It's soothing.
Soothing.
And I don't know. It just looks. I feel good in it. I don't know.
Happy, soothing, and you feel good in it.
Yeah, like when I wear blue, I guess I like blue.
Okay. So those adjectives reflect how people view you. Happy, soothing, look good. Now, what's your favorite furry animal?
Furry animal. A doggy.
A doggy?
Yeah,
Little doggy.
Doggy maybe.
Little doggy? And tell me 3 adjectives why you like a doggy.
They're soft.
Soft.
They're all love. They're like a little fur ball of love.
Love.
And they're fun.
Fun? So you said, what was the first one?
I don't know.
Love, fun.
And I don't remember what I said.
It
came.
So love and fun. So that is how you view yourself.
Okay, I'll
Now,
take that.
what's your favorite body of water? It could be a bathtub, an ocean, a lake, whatever.
I like the ocean.
The ocean? And 3 things why.
It's amazing, relaxing.
Amazing, relaxing.
It feels tranquil.
Tranquil. That's good. So amazing, relaxing, and tranquil are how you view sex.
I have a few more adjectives on that
I bet you do. So if you imagine yourself in a white room with no windows and no doors, tell me 3 things of how you would feel. A white room, no windows and no doors.
Claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic.
Frustrated.
Frustrated.
Bored.
Bored. That's how you view death.
Okay.
So, that's who Alex is.
Hello. Nice to meet you. I didn't know that's what it means. So you're getting to know me as I get to know myself here. This is wonderful.
So, Alex, I met you at the Naval Expo just recently. And I got to tell you, your last one that you hosted was my third time attending. And it gets bigger and better every time. And my hat goes off to you to be able to bring in so many wellness business owners to impart good information.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So what inspired you to get this started?
Well, I was in the healthcare industry, and
In what capacity?
I was marketing a group of psychologists into medical centers around New York. It was all insurance based. It was very businessy, and it was fine. I just didn't like it. Meanwhile, I met some doctors who I thought were remarkable on many different levels, and they were very passionate about healing people. But on the same page, they weren't business people at all. So they were artists, and they just wanted to do their craft of healing people. Right. So they forgot to make money.
They didn't like the bureaucracy side of it.
Yeah, so they had a difficult time with the business side of this whole industry. So I wanted to create a way how to introduce these physicians and their message and philosophy to the public. So I created a little radio show that I did for 10 years up until last year. And
So you started like 2000.
I started 2003, something like 2, like that. And I started interviewing a lot of these physicians. And after about a year of doing that, the message that they shared with me absolutely blew me away. I mean, I thought I knew wellness, I thought I knew health, but I had no idea. And so I created a little event where I invited some of my doctors to speak at a breakfast, and I had about 10, 15 sponsors there also. So after my doctors spoke, the sponsors became their patients. And I know that when these physicians share this message, people who are logical and understand that there's got to be a better way, just all of a sudden transform, and they follow these physicians, because I think the message is so powerful. So that's how we got here.
That's excellent.
And then it just grew.
It grew over a period of 10 years, little by little, slowly but surely. Yeah. And I think now things are transforming so rapidly in the whole marketplace, because it's just such mayhem.
Right.
That people realize that they had whatever security they saw in the old model of healthcare was a firm grasp on an empty bag.
Well, it's failing.
Well,
it's failing.
It's been failing. We just kind of started realizing that now.
Right. But those people are protecting their empire because it's a money model.
Nothing wrong with that. Everybody fights for their piece of land. So,
well, we can agree to disagree on that, because the deal is this: they're the ones with the dough. They have the power to market. They have the power to suppress great information, because the stuff that you're promoting to the general population is very old. Very old, much older than Western medicine by thousands of years.
Sure.
And it's worked. And at the current trend, the way Western medicine is going, we will cease to exist in the next 100 years, 200 years.
I can see that.
Absolutely, because as we walk around in the Valley of the Dead, I call it, everyone has a walker, everyone has a cane, everyone is frazzled, fried, can't focus, can't concentrate. Everyone is drinking coffees and smoking cigarettes. They're not even eating food. So,
no, you don't have to. I'm with you. I'm
so,
just saying that, look, everybody has to fight for their piece of the pie.
Right, piece of the pie.
And what they're doing is protecting their turf, but so did Hitler in the last days. And it's up to us to kind of enlighten the world and not really worry about what other people are doing. I think the marketplace is shifting rapidly because that consciousness is spreading so quickly. Mm-hmm. So I don't worry about them doing their thing. I just worry about me doing my thing.
Do you have children?
I do.
So Alex, before you started this expo, were you in a state of unhealthiness?
I started it before I developed any symptoms. It was interesting, like it happened virtually simultaneously. So I started promoting some of these doctors, I started doing the radio show, a few events, and all of a sudden I developed a skin condition right above my ear here. And so I went to a medical doctor like everybody else does. I called booked my appointment. They gave me a 2-month waiting list, so I waited the 2 months. Then I went to see this doctor. I waited in the waiting room for an hour. Then they put me in another little room to wait for the doctor, another 15 minutes. Then the doctor shows up, very smart, very busy. He looks at me. You have psoriasis. Here's a prescription. Gives me the prescription. Have a nice day. It took 37 seconds of all of that time. So
That's a broken system.
I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist to see that.
You knew you had psoriasis.
Yeah. So, I mean, he just gave me the prescription. I put it on, and then it disappeared. A week later, it's like half my head.
Wow.
I put it on, it's on my arms. I put it on, it's like it got progressively worse. So the condition happened right about the same time that I started doing these events. So it was interesting that that's how it came together, because I needed that personal experience of a health issue to really put that passion behind what I saw was missing. So I want to think that it was bigger than me that kind of organized this whole thing, put it together. So yeah, I had the arthritic psoriasis. So at that point, I was already starting having a difficult time walking. My wrist hurts, my finger were hurting. I was 35 years old or whatever I was at the time, and I started like falling apart all of a sudden. So the arthritis, my doctor helped me fix within like 3 months. Lowered the inflammation, put me on some supplements, get rid of some foods that were causing. But so yeah, kind of came together like that.
Wow. So during your journey of learning all these holistic type practitioners, have you been able to address your psoriasis holistically?
Psoriasis has been a fight. I'm still at it, but I'm this close.
So the body mechanic mentioned earlier about detoxing your liver. You said you did that before?
I did do a liver detox, a couple of liver detox over the years. I did one where it included drinking a cup of olive oil. I took some drops of something, I don't remember what it was now, but and then the results were crazy. So
the things that were coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was insanity, but it didn't do anything for me.
But here's another thing, and this I talk about a lot because people don't. Because I had never ever had a leg injury. I mean, I was an athlete in college, and I'm still active in a lot of things. And I started playing racquetball about 20 years ago. So when I met Chella, she kind of signed me up. She got me a gym membership at this gym that had courts. And I remember after like 2 months, I did a tournament. And I remember they had a problem with the shoes. You know those I only wear shoes that allow my feet to be naked. And actually, the function of the foot is, I mean, we weren't designed to have things containing our feet or not allowing the metatarsals to move freely. It's designed to move and undulate with the surface and change with the surface. And what happens, that dictates knee movement and hip movement. But more importantly, when I put these court shoes on, I took my 5 fingers. You know the 5 fingers, the Vibrams, the one that look like monkey feet?
Yeah.
I wore these court shoes, and I'll never forget it. The first match I played, when I torqued to hit the ball, I heard my knee shift. So the condyle shifted. Because what happens is when you stand on a shoe that is cushioned, the leg is not set. So all the people that play racket sports that wear traditional shoes, they all end up wearing knee braces. So at the end of the tournament, I had 9 matches. And I'll never forget this, because the next day I could barely walk. A week later, I was at Penn Station about to come out to my gym, because I have a gym in Bellport. And I remember leaning against the wall and my leg collapsed. And 2 hours later, I was in North Shore VA hospital. I'm also a veteran. And I was still wearing these running shoes. They fitted me up with a brace. I had crutches. And when I got home that night, I took the shoes and walked barefoot and had no pain in my leg. So, but what happens is because of the torque, I had swelling. It took 3 months to reduce that. And since that, all I wear are my shoes. I do about 600 to 800 squats a week. I do them in all my classes. And, oh, I know why I was segueing this way. I was going to a spa. Are you familiar with the city at all, a little bit?
A little bit.
Fulton Street, there's a Turkish bathhouse spa. Have you ever been there?
Russian
Russian bathhouse, right? I go there all the time.
I've been there.
And what happened was, with the swelling, if you can get the leg to be chill, like if you can get it down to 40 degrees, or you can't get it that low, but you can get it when you jump into the cold plunge. It will reduce swelling. I'll never forget it. I only put half of my body into the tank because, you know, in New York State law, they have to chlorinate water. For 7 days, the bottom half of my body was white. Now, I knew that chlorine was bad, but as I did further research on chlorine, chlorine is a pesticide. And when chlorine actually mixes with your skin, it produces trihalomethanes, which are neurotoxin excitotoxins, and also breaks down lung tissue. So the reason why I'm talking about this, when you talk about your skin, I know you bathe in tap water. You don't?
I have a whole house filtration system that kicks butt.
Do you drink it?
Whoa,
Do you
good
drink
for
tap water?
you.
I have 3 more filters under my sink for the drinking water, and I drink Mountain Valley spring water almost
Oh, I
exclusively.
love Mountain Valley.
So 80% of my body is not just water; it's
good
Mountain
for
Valley
you,
spring water.
Alex.
That's awesome. Do you
That's
test
right.
how do you test your water?
I haven't tested that.
I didn't think so. I saw your face. So what I recommend you doing is I recommend you getting free chlorine test strips, because you can actually test and make sure the filtration is proper. Because a lot of people have filtration networks, but when I test their water, there's chlorine floating in there.
But also, there's not a lot of chlorine on Long Island.
There's chlorine everywhere.
Is that right?
It is a mandate that have it because
But not
because we're still
I
unless
know in New York City.
if you have well water, you're not going to have chlorine in well water. I mean, you're going to have minerals, but you're not going to have the chlorine liquid chlorine that they actually put in the water.
I know some of the towns do put chlorine in the water. Right. I'm just not sure if every town on Long Island is.
You might be
mandated to
talking about sodium fluoride.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I just
No,
know
it's
that not all the water is chlorinated.
There's a
No,
few.
there's no fluoride on Long Island.
But everything.
But
there's
there is,
fluoride.
but you know what? There is fluoride along it because they're finding it in the water.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, if you fluoride something, it's got to go someplace. I mean, all the water is.
because it's being spelled out, so it's getting into the water table,
Yeah.
and that all started back in the 20s. So there's a lot of things that we're taking in, a lot of chemicals that when they're so bad that when we take them in, the body doesn't even want to process it. It'll take it right out through the skin. And the other thing about eczema is that it always gets exacerbated when you're under a stressful condition. And what stress does, stress will break down the immune response. And the thing about your skin, and this is something I talk about all the time, I don't use any soaps at all on my skin. All I use distilled water and I use salt. I use unrefined sea salt, and that's how I cleanse my body. And that's only done a few times a week. Because on your skin, you have these natural microbes that actually protect you from your environment. So if you're stripping your skin with soap every day, you don't have the protection.
You exercise, you run, you sweat. How do you not?
My body's pretty clean. Even my urine, my pH of my urine is between 7 and 7.8. So you have to understand what you're taking in, right? If the food is clean, what comes out of your body is relatively clean. And you know this because when you eat bad food, what does your fecal matter smell like? And right? If you're eating bad food.
Intimate program.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, so you've been in the bathroom behind someone who eats bad food, and literally you can't even stay in the room. When people eat proper foods, you know this. When you start juicing, and when you eat live foods.
Are you a vegetarian? Do you
no, I do eat meats, but I try to eat meats that were living a few minutes before I ate them.
Well, how do you do that?
Lobster.
Oh.
We're talking. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, buddy. Because we're in the same journey, man.
No, for sure.
We're in the same journey, man.
I've interviewed, hundreds of people on the radio program, authors. I love this information. I think you can never stop learning because each time I had the opportunity to speak with somebody, it was like opening up a whole new world of interesting things and different ways of looking at things and philosophy and motivation and all that. So,
Alex, every day's a school day.
Let me tell you, he's
especially
awesome.
on the Body Show.
He's awesome. Let me share something with you, man, because we talk about this all the time. Because usually when I get called in, someone has cancer. When I'm dealing with men and women, they're completely two different animals. And the only reason they're different is because what I find is most men are not open.
Ego.
You obviously are open to change, and I know that when you're open, you continue to evolve and learn.
That's right.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
it's more fun that way, I think.
It is.
But
You'd
be surprised how many men
Dude.
won't receive the information because of ego. Oh, he'll know the hell he's talking about, or
I didn't figure it out,
looks
so it
funny,
can't be.
He wears weird hats and weird pants. They're closed.
Yeah.
I don't look at the messenger. I listen to the message.
That's right.
You listen, you take it in, you process, you compare it with what's out there, and then you move on.
So why the hat? You mind me asking?
Oh man, it's just I got all kinds of hats.
Oh yeah.
No,
You're
no,
just- you're just like-
I'm bald.
You
I just
are-
shaved my head bald.
Well, you know.
I just wear it. It's part of my. What I want to say.
You like it.
My,
It's your style. All right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just wondering.
It's
you know,
image.
yeah,
It looks
it's more
good.
image, and I'll be honest with you. There's been millions of opinions about what I'm supposed to do, but at the end of the day, when I leave a space, I infect the space with my energy, with my enthusiasm. It's nothing to do with what I look like, but it's what's in my heart. And I'd rather people focus on the content of what I say than how I look. Because we always have this discussion. Like a lot of women spend a lot of time looking in the mirror. They spend a third of their life putting makeup on. They spend hours in the morning fixing their faces and so concerned about how they're perceived by their environment.
Sorry, on behalf of most of the men, I want to thank you for your efforts.
You're welcome, Alex. You're welcome.
You know what? I want to say that. You know what? I can agree with that to a point, but I have a young daughter, and I could tell you something. From the moment she was born until she's 11 right now, she is so beautiful.
I'm telling you.
And when
That's
they start taking thinking that they have to add and enhance their body with makeup and stuff, everything gets lost. And then it becomes a part of the culture. You have a daughter?
Sure.
So I think you
She's
understand.
16 now.
I tell you, and don't even get me started about makeup. You know what?
Don't get me started either.
You know what? It's not even the fact about what it does, how it makes them look. It's what it does to their body.
Sure.
And so many women are laid with problems. Like I have a client she's in her 70s. Her tear duct is clogged up, but the woman wears eyeshadow. She wears eyeliner. Eyeliner is coal tar. It's the same stuff that's on the street. It's supposed to have a warning label. It's toxic to you. And remember you were getting your eyes done one day and she said put it inside your eyelid?
And I said, no, I don't go.
The
I don't
eyelid
do
is
that.
directly linked to your mucous membrane. It goes directly into your bloodstream. The average woman that puts makeup on ends up with anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds of chemicals in their body just from applying the makeup.
10 to 15
It goes right through the
pounds?
skin. And the way
In
I
a
get people,
lifetime.
Well, yeah, I get that, but why?
no, I said weekly. I mean annually. Annually.
Well, I'm sorry. Then she'd weigh like 5,000 pounds by the time she's 60.
Dude, it's
I
not
don't
that.
know if my math is.
It's not that. It's the constituents in there which are toxic to the body. It doesn't have to be in large amounts. Like for instance, if someone drinks a can of aspartame, a bottle of diet soda,
Sure.
right? That aspartame, once it's in solution, it disperses throughout the entire body. It doesn't have to be,
But-
it just be micro amounts.
But it just stays there, doesn't the body
It infects the cells because when you do a detox, dude,
all
let
right.
me tell you, people go through migraines for 5 to 10 days. So people don't understand, and that's why I am such a pet peeve and talk about this stuff. Because when you go to the doctor, he's going to have 40,000 symptoms that he can prescribe medications for. You're never going to get to the root until you clean that body up. And aspartame is deadly. They inject rats, and the next day they have tumors. This is known back
I
in the
like
60s.
him. He knows
Oh
his
no,
stuff.
dude.
He
I'm
knows
going
his
to, and that's
stuff.
why I walk that walk. I cover if I do this. It's all about content. The research is there. All this stuff is documented. And people just say that people just trusting that when they buy stuff from the general population, they trust that these companies have their best interests at heart. That's not the case. That's why I was a little, when you made that statement about everybody wants their piece of the pie, that's usually at a cost.
Mm-hmm.
When those mom and pops had those little stores, and they made natural ingredients, it was wonderful. Then they sell out, they get a couple $1 million, and this huge conglomerate knows that it was a successful business, and then they bastardize the product, they cut corners. So when it gets to that, then it's not good. That's not a piece of the pie. That's deceit. And we are the guinea pigs.
Alice, I have a question for you. I've been to your expo 3 times. I know that you have
Thanks for coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh man, we had so much fun.
The first time he went, he met the guy that just won the deal with Shark Tank. We had
Better
him.
Life?
He flew in from Missouri, was on our show.
Uh-huh.
It was great. But I know within your conference you have these lecture halls where presenters speak to your attendees.
Mm-hmm.
Given the fact that you know how the body mechanic presents himself with the weird hats, the weird pants, how do you think your audience would receive the body mechanic and his information?
They receive it fine. Well, look, here's the thing. I think you can have personality in your dress. I'm all for that. But if you're going to be in front of the public, you have to kind of take it up a notch. That's all. That's my philosophy.
That's your
on
opinion.
it. That's my philosophy on it. So I think you want to certainly share your persona in front of the people. I'm all about that. but you don't want your outer appearance to distract from the message. Or you want it to distract as little as possible. But better yet, you want the context of what you look like to complement the message. So however you put that together, whatever that looks like for the individual, I say go for it.
Interesting.
He answered it.
Yeah, he did. Crystal clear.
It's funny because I have lots of many tribes that I'm around. I'm connected with the Russian community, Jewish community, a bunch of different communities. And I could tell you something that speaks louder than what you look like. It's your track record.
That helps.
So when I get people and they come in contact with me, it's because they're broken and they come to get fixed. And there's no better business card than a human business card.
Amen on that. But what I would say is that if you're looking to address the masses,
Right.
and you're looking to communicate this message to a lot of people who will say, just like that guy who will say, who's this guy talking to me? You want to create as much credibility as you can before they even hear your message, so they're open as much as possible to hear the message. If I see somebody and I have some preconceived notion about, where they come from, and if it's not connecting with my understanding of how things work in the world, I may not hear what I need to hear. So I speak with my doctors all the time that, you want to communicate through your headshot, you want to communicate through your clothing, you want to communicate through the little tiny things, attention to detail, that speak something in congruence of what your message is. Mm-hmm. So I don't mind people looking, different, unique personality. I don't mind that at all. I like it, but it has to complement what you do and not detract from it.
No, I completely understand your statement, but this I will say. There are a lot of people who look very polished. I call them in sharp clothing, and they don't have anything to deliver. And that's a lot of them.
There's also that, but some people will be more open to some people will be more open to hear them than somebody that actually has the information that can transform their life.
Because that's what it is.
Because they expect a doctor to look, with a suit, tie, white coat, stethoscope.
Look at the guy on House. He's like
I love that guy.
I love that guy too.
But that's this is the deal. I think that at the end of the day, I'm going to create my own path, and people will not have a choice but to want to come on board, because when there's a path of healthy, vibrant people that you've infected, that message speaks louder than anything that people see. It's all about paradigm
I'm with
shift.
you.
We've been programmed to believe that the man in the suit knows his shit, he's sharp. But at the end of the day, clothes are irrelevant. I wear these things, you know why? Because they're comfortable, they're natural fibers, and I know what nylon and what polyester does to your internal ecosystem.
Well, let me tell you what I would do if you allow me to mess
I
with
would
you a little bit.
No, I would love to.
I would do a natural fiber, very comfortable looking outfit that maybe looks like a suit but not as really a suit. And I like your medallion that kind of speaks who you are. I'd wear a shirt that kind of matches the colors of the outer, be maybe a little lighter. And I'd wear your slippers. I would be totally cool. But, just like, and the hat is cool. So I'd be fine with that. I just don't work with your thing, just to kind of package it a little bit more. Tiffany sells a diamond ring, right? But they put it in this beautiful box. The box starts talking to you before you actually open it up.
Because that's how we're programmed. We're programmed to
But you can't. Listen, I try to fight human nature for as long as I've been doing this, and I'm going to tell you, that's like trying to stop a tsunami with your bare hands. Human nature is human nature.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to work with the flow and kind of guide it like a ninja. Got to work with the energy. Don't fight it. It's
I like your stuff. I'm glad you're here, man. I really appreciate what you're doing, and it's incredible. And we needed it 100 years ago, but we're here now, and we're moving forward. And you know what? The journey is bigger than us. But you know what? I'm a warrior, and I will go down in flames. I buried my grandmother. She had no legs, and she had all the conditions that I can now prevent.
Diabetes?
She had everything. She had lupus. She had diabetes. She had hypertension. I weaned my parents off of 9 meds in 6 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're in their late 70s.
That's awesome.
And they're rocking. So it's not hard. You give the body what it needs, and it rocks. The body's always trying to keep you alive. It's only when you bombard it with things that it can't recognize, and it's like having a full-time war. It's like carrying a 100-pound knapsack all the time.
That's so true. I mean, a lot of people say, okay, what should I do to get healthy? I said, well, the first thing you need to do is stop doing all the crap that you do to undermine your health every day, because you're probably doing 100 different things that are destroying you. So stop some of that stuff, and then we can talk about stuff that you can add. Drink some quality water, maybe take a walk. Let's start progressing.
You see, and
slowly.
And what do they usually say? But can I do this? They're always trying to figure out a way to circumvent the change. Yeah, they want to negotiate.
Well, they want to take some powder. They want to take some. Now that they're holistic, they want to take some supplements. Just a pill that'll transform their whole.
Right.
It's fun.
Oh, and you know what else is really cool is this. I have about 30 people detoxing at my gym right now. What's really interesting is that all the things that got you to be ill, when they come out, it's bad. It's a hard journey. Because like, for instance, if you just eliminate refined sugar, you go into withdrawals. In the 4th or 5th day, you have migraines for almost a 12 to 18-hour period.
That stuff is so addictive.
Dude, it's deadly, and it's designed that way. Yeah. So
Alex, in regard to the expo, about how many vendors do you have now?
About 80.
80. And what's your goal? Where do you see yourself next year? I know you do this twice a year, correct?
I do it twice a year on Long Island. I do it twice a year in New York City. I do this wellness walk and lunch party, which is awesome.
Where do you do it in the city?
I would do it at the Hilton there on 52nd and 6th.
And where do you do this walk?
At the Huntington Village.
Oh, neat. When is that?
The next one's going to be October 11th.
Oh, my birthday weekend.
And that's a fun event. I really enjoy that because I don't know if you ever seen. I'll send you a video that Fios did about the event. Mm-hmm. So we get all these people together, and we serve some lunch, and we play some music and whatever. We have a few tables, people setting up, but we made up these posters for them that said, health is the most valuable possession you own, or start exercising today, or the healer of the future will be once, like stuff like that, just innocuous things that aren't protesting anything, just kind of reminding people that health is important. So we had like over 100 people last time walking around with these signs down Main Street, and it was all picked up on video. So my goal is just to get national attention around the idea of wellness as a concept.
That's
just to,
awesome.
We're grateful to our veterans today, which we should be on all levels, but we also should be grateful for the health and wellness on whatever level that we do have,
right?
And kind of express that gratitude a little bit. So that's a fun event. And then I do an event for my doctors where I bring in experts that talk about all the things, how to be more effective and successful in the business of wellness. So presentation skills, the way you look, the way you market yourself, PR, all those basic things that make us more effective in communicating this message to the public.
Right, to get it out more effectively.
A few different things.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
I like that.
Well,
I like that walk with the picket signs.
That's the coolest thing ever.
That is so
I dress
cool.
in an Uncle Sam outfit. I got me a red bow tie. It's a blast. We take pictures, we video. It's always fun.
Oh, we definitely got to go. October 11th. That's cool. Now, when is your next expo? I know it's in the fall.
It's going to be the last Sunday of October. I think it's 26th is what it's going to be.
Okay. Very good.
So my goal is, you ask, my goal ultimately is just to impart this information to the 300 million people who live in America. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter exactly how I do it. The events are one thing, video, publications that we have, like all this stuff is just tools to get this message out. And whatever tools I need to identify, create, or partner with to make it happen quicker, I'm all for that. So it may look differently 5 years from now, but for now, the events, I love events because it's personal, it's face-to-face. We're losing that.
Yep.
And it's so much more healing, awesome, empowering. There's nothing about, you can't replace the human connection.
That's right.
I mean, all this stuff that we do, the internet, the Facebook, email, like we think that all of a sudden all our lives are online. A part of it is, but still, if there's not this connection, it's just, first of all, it's not fun. Second of all, it's not as effective. I
agree, 110%.
How'd you find this guy?
The lady who introduced me to you.
I was at the Hilton.
At the hotel.
Oh, really? Oh,
The lady who introduced me to you, she was determined for us to meet. She looked for you for like a half an hour. And then I said, look, forget it, because I'm in the middle, I'm busy, I want to meet people. So we just separated, and then about 20 minutes later, she found me. I found him, come. She was just determined for us to meet, so I'm glad that she made the connection.
Did you tell him about our touch sensorium?
I did. I offered him to get massaged this afternoon.
And we work on, do some body work on him. You don't just relax. And
I'll take it.
you like body work, right?
I like body.
So do you want to give us a website that people could contact you on?
You can go to healthmedia.us, and there's a link to the New York City event, the Long Island event, and that walk.
Excellent.
Also.
So Alex, are you going to stick around for a massage?
I'll stick around.
All right, cool beans.
This guy is tranquil, man. You gotta come back, man. This is cool. I like this.
This is cool. We'll be right back with massage.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries, We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive. Selected for their unique, memorable flavor, Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I'm the Body Mechanic NYC.
And as you see, we have our victim here, Alex, who has been so brave to receive touch. So we're going to talk about the benefits of massage, and hopefully it will encourage you, if you've never been touched, to get touched.
Well, tell them a few things about the benefits of massage.
Well, you know, we have so many meridians throughout our body that are blocked from stress. Stress is the most common way of getting blocked, and when you get touched, we open up those channels and allow the blood to flow, and
is that like
opens
chi?
up.
That's what chi is, like blockage of chi?
Yeah, like
Right.
get you flowing, give you that good homeostasis, and you just feel so good. Are you laughing at me?
You use such huge words because grandma that's 86 years old doesn't know what homeostasis is.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, here's more layman because Chella's extremely technical. That's how my IQ goes up hanging out with her. But we have a huge detoxification system in our body called the lymphatic system. And if you're not mobile and active all the time, that system becomes sluggish. And when that system gets sluggish, it backs up and toxins actually stay in the body. Now, most protocols for doing massage and body work, usually they lie you in the prone position, which means you're facing down. But what I like to do when I work on people, I like to have them face up, talk to them, ask them questions, and actually do a preliminary, I do a little stretching with them. I get them to do a little bit of diaphragmatic breathing. So, Alex, do me a favor. Just put your hands on your belly for a second. By the way, when's the last time you had a massage, man?
It's been a while.
You look pretty tranquil, man. Why you look so tranquil? Did you do something recently?
He had green tea.
No, he said, didn't you say something about you was in a tank or something?
I did a flotation thing.
You did it.
At La Casa Day Spa in New York City. They have like a bathtub which is about 2 feet deep, and it's pretty wide, and they fill it with 750 pounds of salt until the water is like totally saturated. Then they turn off all the lights, you put earplugs in your head, and you're just floating in this water until your muscles become so relaxed that when an hour was up and you're like falling in and out of consciousness, you have no concept of time. And then when it's time to get up, it takes you a second to connect with the muscles that are just like so relaxed that you need conscious effort to get them back in motion. It was awesome.
That is so funny.
Were
that
you in the dark?
mentioned that.
Total darkness, total silence, total weightlessness.
Okay. All right, cool. So this is what we're going to do.
That is so cool.
You're going to stay with us for the duration of the show, right? Because when we come back after we do this whole segment with the massage, we're going to talk about that because we are big advocates of that.
Oh.
In fact, we're kind of partnering with a guy who has the only flotation rooms on Long Island.
Yeah,
and we'll talk
they're
about that.
awesome.
So you don't have to travel all the way to the city to get it.
Okay, good to know.
All right, awesome. So, folks, one of the things that I like to do, because it's very different, you know, a lot of people, they look at massage as something that's not so much a necessity, but as something that's a pleasure. But I can tell you this, when children are born, if a baby goes 8 to 9 weeks without being touched, that baby will die. That's a fact. And the way they found out about that, there were babies that were in orphanages. This is probably about, I don't know how long ago, maybe 70 or 80 or 90 years ago. And it was during wartime. And they found that the babies were dying, the ones because they just couldn't get to all the children. And it's because what happens is when your body is touched, your brain is just a receiving unit. In fact, if I took his skull and I cracked it in half and opened it up, I could take my fingers and poke it into his brain and he wouldn't even be able to feel it because the brain receives information from the rest of the body. So the way the brain knows that the foot is here is because I'm touching it. When he walks on the ground, when you move through your environment, when wind blows on you, when raindrops touch you, this is how your brain gets feedback information from its environment. Proprioception is stimulated by the appendages being touched. So it's imperative to get massage. The biggest reason is moving fluids through the body. In the body, you have this passive system called the lymphatic system. And something as light as this can actually get those fluids moving. Something as simple as this.
They even have brushes you can use.
Yes.
Just to brush yourself.
Right.
Upward motion.
Well, right. The brushes will stimulate the dermis, but those brushes are usually used directly at the lymph node areas, like in the armpits, in the crotch area, at the ankles. Those areas they do. It's called combing, and they do them with babies that are jaundiced because usually the area by the chest is clogged. You have huge lymph nodes in the underarm pit. In fact, inside of the arm and in the chest area. And those areas are combed. And once you stimulate the lymphatic system, those toxins start to come out. But the same thing can be done by just light touching. So something as simple as this.
Now, is that how you usually start your massages off?
No.
Because I start off with the head.
You start working with the head? Mm-hmm. Well, I know that if I start at the bottom, I got everything covered from the feet to the head. I mean, you could work the head and relax this area, but once you touch down there, you've connected everything in between.
The reason why I start with the head is because a lot of people who are not used to massage or have not met me yet, that relaxes them immediately.
Right, but those people are usually in the prone position.
Right.
Because when you go into a room, you turn your back, you have a stranger coming in. I have them upright and I look at them and I talk to them for a few minutes.
No, I have them up.
Oh, you have them up in the supine position?
I do the
okay.
head,
Oh,
do
I
the
see what you're
face.
saying. Yeah. Yeah, well, they both work. They both work. I mean, I've done that too. In fact, sometimes if they're chattering too much, if chat, I start here too. Yeah, so you can look at them. But just to get them to feel comfortable, because once you get through that initial point, then the world is, they're ready. They're excited a week before they even come to get the massage. So one of the things that I do a combination of many things. Cello, where'd you get trained cello?
New York School of Health Professions in Syosset.
Right. So traditional therapists learn an array of different techniques. They learn Swedish, Asian, acupressure. They learn, some of them learn Thai massage. So I was trained, I went to Thailand to get trained, and all the other massage modalities I'm actually self-taught. But I usually started with some Thai techniques, and they're just basically just pressure techniques. So for instance, just actually pressing into the body, I want you to think of a sponge that has water in it. If you press that sponge down and you lift your hand, water comes back into the sponge. And that's exactly how connective tissue works. So I usually start with the chest line. I'll wiggle out the arms and wiggle out any tension, because what you'll find is that most people hold tension from their environment. So if you see his arm is still engaged. So if he lets go, the arm will flop. Oh, okay, there we go. Then that feels completely different, right? It takes a few minutes to get that body relaxed. Once you know the person can wiggle there like that, then they're ready to receive touch. Because if they're engaged, when you press, you're pressing against tissue that's already activated. So we just work those areas. I press the front line, and just the touch alone starts to relax the person.
That also opens up the heart channel.
Yes. Yes, because what happens is most people don't actually breathe properly. Charlie, you want to talk about that? About breathing? About babies, how they breathe into their bellies, and how most adults actually breathe into
I
their
encourage all my people to breathe from their diaphragm. So when you inhale, your diaphragm comes up. When you exhale, diaphragm goes back down. And allow them to just close their eyes and visualize their favorite place. You know, it takes a little bit of work to get people relaxed, but if they start breathing, I guarantee it, they'll just let go after about the 5th or 6th breath.
I wish the folks that they can actually see how my hand is resting on his belly and see how his belly is moving with my hand. Take a deeper breath, Alex.
And if you have trouble going to sleep at night, if you do about 20 of these deep diaphragm breaths, you will fall asleep right away.
It relaxes the whole entire body.
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Right, it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, so it relaxes your appendages, it relaxes your hands. And here's another thing, just to talk about that briefly. A lot of people have a tendency to lay in their bedroom with their TVs on, with the news talking about this one got their head cut off, this one got dragged behind the car, this one left her kids in a bucket. If I was to watch that, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep either. Folks, listen, winding down should be done at least an hour before bedtime. Don't crank on the news, lay in the bed and be like, why is it I can only see the ceiling? So
I don't recommend a TV in the bedroom.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if you're a couple.
Even if you're not a couple.
I don't recommend the TV in the house.
Oh, I agree.
I'm scared of you,
Oh,
Alex.
that's the TV's out 88 bucks. Only if you're watching web TV and you're watching Naval Conference or you're watching Body Shop TV. Otherwise, Madhouse, right. Otherwise, no TV.
That's right.
I always calls the TV the idiot box anyway. So, as I work the arm lines, we do a little wiggle here, and this is something that a lot of massage therapists do. You can always tell if the body's relaxed, so you should be able to wiggle and the whole body should kind of move. And you can tell if someone's engaged, because what happens is when you go to move them, they're stiff as a rock. Mm-hmm. And I like when people say, oh, I'm relaxed, and I'm holding their arm, and I let the arm go, and they're like, see, I'm relaxed. I actually had a lady at my gym. I was stretching her lower back, and I went to pick her up. I said, relax, and when I lifted her, her legs were straight out. She says, I'm relaxed. She was still saying she was relaxed.
Wow.
That goes to show that when you're under stress, there's actually a disconnect between your brain and your body. That's what you experience. Actually, it wasn't so much relaxed. Your brain was inside working, and it disconnected from the rest of your body. We'll talk about that when we're on the other side. So, I stretch out the arm lines. You anchor. You kind of just press the tissue down to hydrate the body. I go through a couple of stretches, kind of get the legs moving. And when I'm doing this kind of thing, I really don't want the client to help me. I want to be able to move it so they're not engaging anything. Completely let go. And this teaches you how to relax and let go. Open up the hips a little bit. Not only that, it gets blood moving around. Bring it in. Down, we take the other leg. And what's interesting about doing this, this is how I teach them to let go. Because once I turn you over and have you lie on your stomach, the sooner you can disconnect, the sooner I can get in and start working those muscles and getting those fluids to move around. And this is all part of the relaxing training right here. So it's a twofold attack. Moving around the joint a little bit, you can see the movements, just kind of circumvent here, different directions. Because remember, during the course of the day, the only thing that most people do is they step, they bend, this is it. This is the movement. Mm-hmm. They're walking. They never move their hip around and lubricate the whole entire joint. They never do that, especially without pressure. That's why it's so important. Same thing we do also with the feet. We wiggle the feet around.
I spend a lot of time on the feet. You know, I believe in
toes.
reflexology.
Yes.
And this is like the map of the entire body.
I agree with you completely. Not only that, most of us walk around with shoes that can contain our toes, and they don't move around. That's
right.
where most of the knee pathologies come from, the fact that the feet are jammed up and not free. So we get a little wiggle in here. Another thing that I do is I come to the top here, and I address the chest. Now this is a really interesting place. A lot of things happen here. Most people that are, say, when we sleep, the first thing we do is we ball up, we lay on our sides, and we put our hands together, and our chest line becomes very tight. When we work in our environment, the same thing happens. We're typing with our hands in front of us. This is all of corporate America. We have a monitor that's only 2 feet away. We stay fixated on that, and we're under stress. And we're sitting down. Right. So this is the movement. We do this for at least 25 hours a week. That's the average person in corporate America. And then they wonder why, when they're standing up, they're walking like this. Well, let me tell you something. When your chest muscles are tight, it actually restricts your rib cage, which houses your diaphragm, which facilitates oxygen coming in, oxygen going out. And when that area is tight, guess what? Things start to slow down. So one of the things that I like to do is to stimulate the chest line. Just gentle pressing like this. And a lot of people never get touched in this area. It's a very sacred area. So the first time you get it done, it's a little uncomfortable, but I can tell you something. As soon as people get off the table, they're breathing deeper. And another thing is this, whenever I touch this area, it's always sore on people because it's an area that's always tight.
Yep, the pecs.
Yep.
Another way to open up your pecs is if you throw yourself into a door jam and just let your body flow, it opens all of this up.
Oh, yeah. I used to tell people, that is really an awesome move. Just anchor your fingertips and turn them out.
Or just practice by raising your arms above your head and touching your thumbs. That also helps.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn Alex over. Alex, let's turn you over.
Okay.
So once the person is actually turned in this position, you can turn your head to the side. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we do, like I talked about on the front side, is we do this little wiggle. Now this you can tell when somebody's relaxed, because if they're not relaxed, you don't get like this Russian wiggle, we call it.
Appropriate.
So just like this. This should feel pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And also what it does, it actually facilitates moving fluids in the spine, because when you anchor here and you move the hips, the spine is doing this gentle twist. And a lot of people are not aware of the fact that there is tons of fluids running through the spine. Not only that, each disc is 75% water. Interesting. So when you're lying down, what happens is your discs go back to their original shape, providing your body has enough what?
Agua.
Yes, water. Water facilitates a nice, loose spine. So, there are lots of muscles in the back. And the reason why this is so relaxing to people, because these muscles that are anchored around the rib cage, when they're tight, they actually restrict the rib cage from moving. And this is why a lot of Asian, when you go to a lot of the Asian places like the bodywork places, they lay people in the prone position like this, and they basically just start working on this area, because as you start to loosen up those muscles around the rib cage, you facilitate better breathing. And there's all different kinds of techniques. Shall I talk about some of them, some of the ones that you do?
One thing that I do want our viewers to know is that when anyone touches you, they should never be touching your spine. That is a no-no. And a lot of folks who don't know what they're doing will immediately begin to massage your spine.
And if they do, tell them to stop, because you're pressing right on the bone. They should be off to the side of the bone.
Not good.
The muscles that are anchored to it should be pressed, not on the spine. And it's very painful when someone steps on it.
It hurts.
And you know what? A lot of people go to these places and people walk on them. It's fine for them to walk, as long as the feet are actually off to the side and on the muscles. Right. It's fine. It's fine. But
So,
all spines.
I like to always start by opening up the erector spinae, the muscles on the sides of the vertebrae that they just love. And I just go all the way down on both sides.
I agree with you on that. And what's cool about this, once people actually accepted the fact that they're receiving a massage, their breathing becomes deeper. It slows down. Another thing that happens, you'll know when you start to relax, the body will start to actually have a chill because you have decreased blood flow, right?
How I know when my patient is relaxed and I have them under my spell is when my cream becomes oil. You notice that?
Oh, because of the heat?
Because of the heat.
Right. But that's because you're Latin and you're hot. So the oil is just going to turn that way just when you put it in your hands, Cho. I don't know if that's a good indicator, but I like it.
It works every time.
And another thing is this. A lot of times when we go get massages, people like to say, you know what? I just want to work the area where the tension is.
No.
Why, Chella?
Totally, because that's usually not the place where it needs to be worked on.
Because it doesn't originate there. It comes from somewhere else. So, folks, do yourself a favor. When you're going for a massage, don't do 10 minutes. Give yourself at least 30 minutes. Yeah. Don't tell the practitioner what to do. Let them just feel your body. They're going to know exactly where to go. Because you know what happens? A lot of people are so used to controlling their environment, so they go to massage, so they tell the person what to do. You know what? I have pain right here in my head, right here. Can you just work on that area? And I'm like, well, it's not coming from that. It's coming from, it could be coming from down as far as your feet.
That's right.
If your posture is off, you can have a migraine from your posture being off. You know?
That's so true. I also like hitting, I include Asian with my massage. I love hitting points. My favorite point is the gallbladder channel. So right here.
Can you say that louder? The gall who?
The gallbladder channel.
Ah.
So right here, pretty much center of the vertebrae, it just gives some pressure, and you hold it for about 15, 20 seconds, and then you circle out, and then you widen your fingers a little bit more, and wow, that is like so awesome to open up that gallbladder channel. I also hit behind the kneecaps.
Here?
Yeah, just apply pressure.
But not a lot of pressure.
Not a lot.
That's another thing.
But it opens up. It's so good.
Yeah, and if you're going somewhere, and you got to understand, anywhere you have an articulation, it means when two bones come together. And I'll give an example, like when you bend the knee here. This area behind the knee is a very delicate area. When they're doing massage, they should not be pressing hard. In fact, you'll know when you're working with someone who knows what they're doing, because as they press down the leg, because they usually prep the body first with just pressure technique, right? Just putting pressure like this. And when they get to this area here, they should graze over it and then continue to press down the calf line. If they're pressing in these joints, please stop them. Let them know that they shouldn't be pressing there. Yeah. They won't do it. Same thing with the arms. Inside, the opposite side of the elbow, they should not be pressing into those joints. You have very tender, not only ligaments, but veins and arteries that are running through there. Anywhere there's an articulation that's created, those areas should not be pressed on really hard. And some of the other things that I like to do, after we actually get through the massage segment, I always like to open up the hips. And one of the techniques that I do is I take the leg, and I bend like this. And a lot of times, he's actually fairly flexible, which is pretty good. But a lot of people we work on, they could barely bend the leg through this area here. So what happens is, usually the muscles on the quadricep are very tight, and the hip flexor is very tight, the psoas, from sitting all the time. So I always like to anchor the knee, like this. And then what I do is I anchor the hip, and I pull. And they will actually feel the pull all the way through the pelvis. This is one muscle that gets short when people sit down for extended periods of time. And then what I do is I have them actually engage the knee. So Alex, push your knee down towards the bed, harder. You anchor it, you hold it, and then you say let go. When they let go, I have 2 seconds to actually increase the stretch. Just relax, breathe. There we go. Excellent. And then you just wiggle those legs out. And what that move does, it actually decompresses the lumbar spine.
Wow. You go, Alex.
It's pretty good for a 30-year-old. Yeah. How's that feel through the hip? Feel that?
Amazing.
Push your knee down. A little bit more. Engage. Let go. As soon as you let go, I can stretch. Ah.
A lot of my clients are drivers, limo drivers, truck drivers, and I spend a lot of time on the buttocks.
Yeah,
the
me
gluteus
too.
minimus, the gluteus maximus, because they're sitting for many, many hours, and I tell you, this is like heaven.
But you also like butts too.
This is true.
Yes.
But having your behind massaged is like heaven. And for those of you, I know it's somewhat a little uncomfortable if you're not used to listening to these kind of words, but once you experience it, it's awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah, think about it. What do most people do? They sit on their butt, compress it all day. You know what? Folks, If you look in the mirror and your butt has cellulite in the center and it's flat, the connective tissue that is underneath your skin is dried out and actually breaking down. And that comes from sitting for extended periods of time. So if you want to get rid of cellulite, get your butt massage. It will help with hydrating and creating good, healthy connective tissue. And those dimples will start to disappear. Because trust me when I tell you, those women in Central South America with those large behinds, they don't have those suction cups on their butts because they don't sit down all day and have their tissue dried out. It has to do with keeping the body hydrated and keeping those fluids moving.
A stand-up desk is also a good idea.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because we're not, I always tell people, we're not designed to sit. It's not a natural motion. Do me a favor, sir. Just roll over back to your back a second. And I want to make a really important point about some of the massages, because a lot of times when people go get body work, no one likes to have their belly touched, right? Right, Chella?
Yes.
A lot of people are uncomfortable. Let me tell you something. What this rib cage houses and protects is the very things that keeps your body functioning for years and years. All of your organs are encased in here. And when you actually allow someone to take and stimulate these organs by just pressing against them, you can find out a lot of things that are either right or wrong just by pressing into the organs gently. Not only that, once a person actually lets go, it's so relaxing to have this area actually pressed.
Yeah, it's good for the digestive system.
Absolutely.
And you're going in the same direction as the intestines are designed.
Well, what actually happened was, this is going to sound really strange, but at the introduction of the toilet bowl was kind of the demise to the Western culture, a lot of cultures that started copying that. Because even when we go to places in Europe now, they still have holes in the floor because technically you're supposed to squat. So now what happens when someone squats? People usually, they would just stand over a hole and squat down. And what happens is when the leg comes up, the knee, well, you know, he's got sexy jeans on, so it's hard to kind of get his leg all the way up. But as the leg comes up, actually what it's supposed to do is press up against your ascending and descending colon. Your legs stimulate your intestines, this side and this side. And that's what actually facilitates the movement of things inside the colon and large intestines, just like this. I remember one time I went to work and there was a lady that was sitting in a chair. She was in excruciating pain and they wanted to call an ambulance for her. I walked over and I said, when is the last bowel movement you had? She said, it was 2 days ago. I put my hands on her belly. I found where it was enlarged. I moved it. It took me literally 15 seconds. I felt a knot. I started just massaging it. And all of a sudden you heard a gurgle and the pain was gone.
And then she moved her bowels, I'm sure.
Exactly what it was. So that saved the $800 ambulance ride and another couple of probably $20,000 worth of tests they would have ran on her to get her blockage that moved out. Let me tell you something, folks. Touch is worth its weight in gold. It's something that all of us should do. And as long as you should be used to it and let go, and the world is your oyster. Let me tell you.
I also do the liver shake. Have you done that before?
Shake it up.
Shake it up. So after you finish massaging the stomach, you do some effleurage, right? And then you apply your hand below the stomach and you shake it. And that shakes the liver. So you know what that does to the liver? It's the only organ that doesn't really move when you're walking.
Right, it's fixed right underneath the rib cage, yeah.
So they just shake it. So it had a little, it moved.
Unless you jump. If you're bounding and bouncing, it'll move because everything is going to move in solution inside. Yeah. So, you have any questions about massage?
I like it.
I could tell, man. You're in a great space, man. It's really, I'm really glad you're on the show, and what you do is absolutely amazing.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think the best part of massage is effleurage when you're all done. And you just give them love with effleurage. Just
Right.
smooth strokes.
I agree with you because at that point they're actually connected to their body.
And
So many people don't even feel touch. You know how when we walk out in our environment and people are bumping into, it took me a while to really understand why. I always thought people were rude, but when people are under stress, they don't even feel the rest of their body. They're not even aware of it.
So body mechanic,
Yes. So,
I think it's time to take a break, pay some bills.
yes, we should pay some bills. I think so too. Then we're going to come back. We can get Alex over by the table, and I want to talk about your float experience.
Yeah.
We're going to go
that's
in.
Awesome.
Yes.
Stay
So, folks-
tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. And if you want to get some of this, go to our Touch the Sorium. It's
Yeah.
free.
The third Monday of each month.
And Chella is the best.
No, the body mechanic. The line of women are out the door for the body mechanic.
They just want to rub my turban. Huh?
We'll be right back.
Oh, no, she's.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah, we do?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So should we just keep going?
All right, so talk about the float experience.
Yeah, talk about the float.
On the table.
Yeah, so it was my first time ever, and this Dr. Jane Goldberg is the one that has the spa there in the city. She's remarkable because she wrote a bunch of books, and like that's one of her favorite modalities to kind of get people to de-stress. Because I don't have to tell you guys that stress is the foundation to most disease. And if you could get rid of that part, at least temporarily on some level, then you give your body the space to heal. So I walk into this to the spa, and there's a room allocated for this bathtub. It was a little bizarre, honestly. I've never.
Was it like a tank?
It wasn't. It was a wide tub. It was about 2 feet deep. It was bigger, maybe 4 or 5 times bigger than the regular bathtub.
Okay.
Maybe not as deep though. So it was filled with water. It was warm. It wasn't hot, and it was saturated with salt.
Magnesium sulfite. Yeah.
So I take a shower before I go in. Put earplugs in my head. Turn off the lights. Close the doors. Lie down in this solution, I guess, and my body is completely floating.
Mm-hmm.
So after about 5 minutes of this, first of all, it's weird. It's dark and it's totally quiet, and you're not touching anything.
There was no music playing?
No.
So they just took him right in.
Well, I think if you're going to experience something, I prefer not to have music anyway. So for a while, I'm just sitting there. I'm thinking, I'm lying there floating, and I'm thinking, this is just weird. And all these thoughts are going through my brain. It's a little frightening, actually, in this darkness of, I don't know where I am.
Like the White Room.
So it's like that. So some building in the city. So, but then 5 minutes into it, I'm like floating in and out of consciousness. I'm either sleeping or not sleeping. I'm thinking or not thinking. And then all of a sudden, my body just.
You felt it. It's just like completely let go.
Like I remember just my neck going, like just. And then I just got in this trance of relaxation. I didn't move my body for an hour. And then when they finally kind of knocked on the thing and it was time to get up, I had to connect my brain to my muscles to actually get them moving. Mm-hmm. And then once I got up, it was great. But this level of relaxation, I don't think I've experienced in my life.
Right. What actually happens is when your brain doesn't have sight and doesn't have sound, right, and you eliminate those movements, it knows that it's time to sleep. And what the pineal gland does, it releases DMT, which actually numbs you to an environment. That's why the disconnect happens. So what happens is it allows you to go in and be conscious being asleep. Because when I do the floats, I experience rapid eye movement, I experience the clicks. I used to think that I was conscious, but I was actually under, and I could feel my eyes fluttering. You know you're under. And you'll start to feel the waves. The more floats you do, the more you peel off, the deeper you go in. Let me tell you something, man. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You're about to fly, and you can go turn it on anytime. Now, what actually makes those waves happen is when the pineal gland actually is not encrusted with sodium fluoride. So there's a way to actually decalcify your pineal gland. And what stimulates that also event is melanin. And chaga mushrooms are loaded with melanin, which stimulate that event also. So we do this a lot. I was on Channel 12 News Wednesday. They interviewed me at the flotation place on Long Island.
Oh, cool.
So our partner has a facility right here in Deer Park.
Wow.
And he has 2 rooms. So they're like swimming pools, 11 inches deep, and beautiful facility. So instead of going to New York City, you can come right here.
And when they take you in, they use music that has been synthesized at 432 hertz, which stimulates theta and beta brain waves. So it takes you in. See how when they're not going to wake you up, you don't want to break somebody up from that deep sleep. You want to play the music. It will stimulate you and reconnect you slowly.
And the music dissipates in about 15 minutes.
Cool.
It's incredible. So you went in. It's crazy.
That's a coincidence. I mean, I've never heard of it
It's
until
so
I
funny.
did
When you were
that.
saying, that's why we were smiling like that when you started
I
talking
just
about it.
bring it up, and you guys are already like into this. It's
Oh yeah,
pretty
we were just
remarkable.
talking about it on the show at the beginning because it was on Channel 12.
I didn't hear that. That's just
Yeah. So we'll pass you the link so you
coincidence.
can watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
When she did her first float, oh my God, she was like, I couldn't wait for her to do it.
I was so excited. I was so relaxed, and I couldn't wait to tell him how I felt and what I saw and what I experienced.
And when I came out to the room, because I do a lot of, I've done 2.5 hour floats. Each hour is equivalent to 2 hours of sleep. And when I came out, I could hear her in the hallway. She was like, and I was like, all right, just chill. Because the place where we
Give me a
go,
minute.
there's a nice little lounge. He serves you herbal tea. You can sit back. You're going to love it.
Yeah, you are.
Fancy.
You're going to love it.
Alex, thank you so much for being a
Oh,
part
yes,
of Body
thank
Shop
you so
TV.
much.
We
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed
Thank
you.
That was great.
We have to have him back as many times as possible.
No doubt.
Because we want to be a part of your vision. We have a similar vision, and we're both going in the same direction. And it's all about warriors and taking this forward so that everyone has access.
Body
And really-
Mechanic, what do you
yes.
want to talk about next week?
Huh?
What do you want to talk about next week?
Oh, see, that's a Figueres trait. That's a Figueres trait. That's a shout out to Nevada.
Stop it. I think I want to talk about, on the relationship tip, first dates.
And I'm going in, and this time I'm going to talk more extensively about 2 specific mushrooms, chaga and reishi or langchi mushrooms.
Are you sure you're going to talk about mushrooms?
ZHI. Oh, yes.
All right.
Because I want to talk about Alfei. I want to talk about the company. All right, folks.
Enjoy your week. Love hard, kiss long, and one love.
Let's get together and be alright.
One love.
We saw the Whalers last night.
It's a funny.
Oh.